Since the 70s, Steve Lukather has been delivering magic as a musician, as a session guitarist, as a leader of Toto in more recent years. But there's one example that I keep coming back to after all this time, and that is a live solo from I Will Remember. It was recorded on the Mindfields tour, maybe in Japan. And you can find a version on YouTube, but it's a different night. So that solo is very, very, very similar, but the second part of it is not the same. This one, I've got an audio track ripped from a CD back in the day. So that's the version that I'm looking at, and it is one of my favourite Steve Lukather solos ever. Tuning-wise, the guitar's down half step to E flat, but the song is in the key of B. So we're going to have a look at the chords themselves, as always, because that's going to be relevant when we start to look at why his solo, beyond his phrasing and his tone, why it sounds so good. Well, again, it's chord tones. Every single chord, he targets chord tones. So breaking these down and understanding how it works, it really is can go such a long way to bring it into your playing, naturally. Okay, so let's have a look at the chords. Very, very common. It's in, as I said, B major. And when you hear that descending bass line, your ear is automatically going to think, well, they're probably doing that. And in this case, it's a 1 chord, a B, to a 5 chord in first inversion. So the B just goes down to an A sharp, just descends, to a 6 minor, to a 5, to a 4. Very, very common chord progression. So something like this. Okay, that last part there, as we came up from the E up to the F sharp, the 4 chord, to the 5 chord. The 5 had that typical sort of suspended back to an F major, but it wasn't only a suspended, which might sound like this. He hits a B on F sharp, which is... Okay, really, really common, and remember that because that's going to be important when we look at the note that Luke uses when they hit that part of the solo. Okay, so tone-wise, as you'd expect with Steve Lukather, at least back in those days, lots of distortion, lots of a delay. Now we start on the 1 chord, so we're starting on a B major. So straight away you're thinking, well, I've got B, I've got D sharp, and I've got F sharp in terms of the triad chord tones. And what he does... So he's bending 14th fret up to 16th on the B string. That, of course, is hitting the major 3rd. On a major chord in particular, the 3rd is the sweetest sound. The root note B, of course, is going to sound good. The F sharp, the 5, yeah, that's obviously going to work as well. But that 3rd just brings all that colour. Okay, so as we saw, he's targeting the 3rd of that 1 chord. And now when they go down to the 5 chord in first inversion, that's when he's on the C sharp 14th fret. So first is B. Right there, right after he hits that C sharp, they move to the F sharp. C sharp is the 5 in that chord, so it's a chord tone. Okay, then he'll do the bend up again. Okay, now he's landing there on a G sharp because they're on a G sharp minor chord tone. Okay, so there's a few bends there that you're going to want to nail. Okay, now when he's going down to the 5 chord in a sort of root position, he does this nice little line. Okay, now where does he start? 7th up to 9th, which is the F sharp up to G sharp on the B string. And then he, the 8 to 9 there, and then down a D triad shape, but it's an F sharp because you're on the F sharp chord. So he's going down the whole chord, every chord tone in that chord. Again, this is why it sounds so good. Okay, so you're sliding up 7 to 9, 6 and 7, Okay. Okay, 9, 8, 6, 9, 8. Okay, 9, 6, and then slides up to the 11 here. Now, when he slides up to the 11, that's a G sharp, because they've just hit the 4 chord. Same note, and that's again why it sounds so amazing. After he's done that part, you're moving B on the 9th fret, C sharp, D sharp, because you're on that B on F sharp. So that has the D sharp in it. All these notes, but it's chord tones. That's the reason why it works so well. But he does something really nice up here. He'll tap on the octave harmonic. Okay. Okay, so that's the first chorus of the guitar solo. There are two choruses to this. The second one, it's a good exercise or analysis of a building in a solo. So he starts not super low, but he starts sort of subtly down, and the second chorus now he's moved up quite high, as you might expect. Now, as I come around to that B chord, he targets again chord tones. I won't go too much into analysing as much. I'll just show you the notes. But you are thinking the B major pentatonic scale. Easier to think of it in its relative minor, which is G sharp. So G sharp minor pentatonic, box 1. Here's what you've got. Okay, that's what you're thinking now. So he's on the 1 chord, the B, and he's going to come up those last 2 notes in each of the high strings of the minor pentatonic. Okay, bending up 2 frets. Okay, let's try and do that one again a little bit slower. The tricky part there is you've got to come down and hit the B string on that 16th fret. Okay. Okay, so that part there, he's pulling up on the whammy bar when you're on that C sharp. And you're bending it down to the G sharp there. So a great solo, I will remember, tuned down to E flat key of B though. Great chord tones. It's a good one to learn. It's got some amazing phrasing in it, and again, breaking down the understanding of the chord tones against the chords can only help you in your own playing. Good luck with that one. I'll see you next time.